Hi, my name's Alex. I'm going to teach you how to look after a leopard gecko. Okay, to start off, if you are a beginner, I do recommend having a gecko. Whereas if you had a bit of experience and you'd ask me what you should have, I would say iguana or something along those lines, because they're a bit more difficult to look after. Whereas a leopard gecko, feed them every 2 or 3 days. Iguanas, it's a bit different, although there may be a longer time span they can live for. The food's a bit more difficult to obtain. Okay, so yeah, this is Lizito. This is my leopard gecko. I think it's a leopard gecko, can't remember for definite. Leopard geckos are one of the very many legal geckos you can keep. There's many different types out there. There's many venomous ones, there's many rare ones and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it for this gecko. He's nice, he's warm, he's active, which is good for a gecko. If you just have a gecko that's sitting there, it's going to be incredibly boring. You're not going to have much of an experience from that, just sitting there looking at it. It's like education. Sitting there looking at a book, you're not going to learn anything. If you have that bit of experience with hands-on stuff, then you're going to get that experience and you're going to want to go further. Okay, so that's enough chat from me really. Let's have a look here. This is a Exoteria terrarium, and as you can see, I've got a small log there. That's a cork log. Just going to put my gecko in there. I've got some artificial shrubbery at the back there. The reason I've got that, it gives that extra effect to the whole terrarium. The gecko feels at home. I've got that artificial foamy rock at the back there, which comes with the Exoteria terrarium. I've got wood chip down here, and I've also got a small water bowl. Feeding wise, if you're going to feed a gecko, feed it locusts, crickets, mealworms or silkworms, although I don't recommend you feed it crickets. I brought 20 quid's worth of crickets and put a couple in there a day. They all died. My gecko didn't eat them, and I've also experienced that with many other geckos. They don't touch crickets. So I just kind of thought, right, you know what, I'll stick with the locusts, mealworms and silkworms. A bit of advice for feeding a gecko locusts. Feed the locusts a day before. Feed it carrots or grapes or tomatoes, and then they get the energy from them, energy transfer. Now if you don't feed them, it will be like us eating an empty cereal box. If a gecko doesn't get that carrot, tomato and all of that energy from a locust, its bones start to become bendy. It basically gets what we call the bends, and that's all there is for feeding really. Mealworms and silkworms are easy to look after. You probably get them in a small pot. Many retailers do them for about £2.50. My nearby one does boxes of locusts, about 10 in each box. Does them for about 80p, which is very cheap considering I can go somewhere else, get a box for about 15 and get that for about £2. Okay, Exoteria basically bases all of their terrariums on a humidity climate animal. You can keep tarantulas, snakes, geckos, salamanders, frogs, practically anything in here. But the only problem is I found with putting a snake in here, I had a Carolina corn, and that was about 2 or 3 months old. And in Exoteria they like to make your life very easy. So they've made these electricity holes at the back here. If I just slide this across, so cables fit down the back, and they've done that. I forgot all about them and left a couple open, and my Carolina corn got out and it went missing for about 4 days. Along with that, I then found it later that week in my diving snorkel just before I went diving. So that was a nice surprise for me. So yeah, that's really how to look after a leopard gecko. Clean water every day. It can be tap water or it can be spring water. Geckos do prefer spring water. You probably won't ever see a gecko drink, because the fact they drink really late at night just before they go to bed, and normally they wait for it to condensate on the windows to have it when they go for a locust. Because if a locust is sitting on the side here and there's condensation on the side, then they're going to go for the locust, also dragging a bit of water with it. So that's okay there. May I also say, with this log, this type of log, this is a cork log, and the lizard won't get off of it now. This is a cork log. I wouldn't recommend cork log for a tarantula keeper. As soon as you get a tarantula pregnant or something like that, it will be burying its eggs in there, and then that will cause great difficulty for you if you then throw away the log or give it away or something like that. Well, that's it really. Just basics, heat mat and all that. Like, if you need any help, please send me a question on my YouTube account, and if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you very much.